And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals here of the WardiTV Monday number 52. The first semifinals, of course. The upper semis is going to be getting ready for us as well as we are jumping into our PvZ and spawning in the purely PvZ tonight, actually. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Leylines, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our ZVP. And Rogue, he just achieved something that very few can do. He just took down Classic in the late game. As I mentioned before, Classic, he has the best late game PvZ in the world. Better than MaxPax, better than Hero. You don't get better than Classic, and Rogue just took him down. But what I will say is that MaxPax doesn't have to play for the late game. He can thrive in the mid game. He can be more aggressive, more assertive here, and we'll see how Rogue can compare to MaxPax. We'll see how the series will turn out. Oh boy. I should also, bearing in mind, I should also emphasize that it wasn't like Rogue was playing for the late game either. On Tokamak, it was different. Tokamak is known for late game, is known for longer game states, so Rogue did have a different approach there. But on these smaller maps, we do expect more aggression early on, and Rogue was very in the face of Classic. If you recall, we saw a lot of German taxis, a lot of mixed results as well, but we do expect aggression out of Rogue in this series. We expect aggression. And I think I still lean towards MaxPax here. Like, when it comes to like early and mid-game aggression and early and mid-game all-ins, I feel like MaxPax, he's known for his defensive play. He's known for surviving and weathering the storm for the most part. Like, we have seen him falter against players like Solar, against players like Rogue in the past as well. And of course, the other top European Zerg players. But we'll see. We'll see how they compare. We'll see how MaxPax differs from Classic. Now, from Classic, we saw a lot of early blink timings out of our... I say a lot of early blink timings. Technically, we saw 3 different openers out of Classic. Game 1, he went early blink. Game 2, he went glaives. And Game 3, he went for a standard build and a standard game. So we'll see how MaxPax does open up. For now, Stargates. We do expect to see Stargates in every game. Stargate opens every single game. But the follow-up, the timing of the Twilight Council is what we're looking for. We'll keep an eye out for the timing. We'll keep an eye out for the follow-up build. Show us what you got. From here, MaxPax is getting into his own third base. Again, just Stargate open into a third. Everything's looking normal from MaxPax. Likewise, Rogue going hatch gas pool into a third base as well. It's a little bit too early to really commit into anything. This is one of the downsides nowadays of ZVP, is the early game is pretty played out, pretty standard. Now, there are times where we do see like Twilight Council openers or Robo openers or something crazy. Speaking of, that is going to be an earlier Twilight Council out of MaxPax. My eyes are on our Protoss. But it's typically few and far between to get into anything but a Stargate. It's quite rare. But again, early Twilight Council gateways being thrown down. This does look like Glaive Adepts. Yeah, this screams Glaives here. Technically, this could be a late Forge with early Blink. But we're leaning more heavily towards Glaives. Show us what you got. 2 drones go down. Twilight Council is done. Going into early blink. Okay, early blink, late Forge. I say late Forge. There should be a Forge by now, even with early blink timing. Yeah, there it is. I was like, what's going on? Forge now gets thrown down. Now, if you remember, this is the same build that we saw from Classic in Game 1 of his series. The goal here, the purpose is early blink into what? An early blink move out with Mass Blink Stalker to break the 4th expansion and to gain momentum. to gain momentum to slow down the Zerg. Rogue playing it safe, +1 at melee into early Roach Warren. Or safety Roach Warren, maybe a better way of putting it. So Rogue, he's playing it safe, didn't lose many workers here to the Oracles. Lings do move out. And MaxPax should be amassing up his Stalkers. Stalkers are amassing. They are warping in. And Rogue, he's actually cutting workers early, cutting workers at 53. So massing up more Lings. 4th base is thrown down here towards the top side. Lings, they catch out some Stalkers. Shield Barrier running a lot of time. Yeah, Shield Barrier does buy time. Lings pull away. MaxPax, he holds. And MaxPax, he's checking for the bases. You see, he wants the 4th. it's on the other side. So MaxPax out of position. Unfortunately, checked the wrong location. Rotating over. Does rotate to the top side. And these Zerglings, they will not help in the defense. They're going for the attack instead, which means the space may fall. Yeah, Lings, they hit the 3rd, but there are Zealots in position. Oracles turn around. Oh, nice defense though. Rogue holds. Rogue defends back at home. He does force a recall. And Rogue is in a better position here. Kind of. Rogue, he defends the 4th base, but do you see what I see? No drones. Where are the drones? Where's the saturation? Hydras. We're going for a 3-base all-in. So Rogue is going for the counter 3-base all-in. Massling Hydra, no expansion. Sorry, no mineral line, no droning. Does come in for the surround. Catching out 3 Zealots, not bad. Oh, who is it? No, who is it? Is it me? Is it a player? No, Sub-Zero. Aye. There we go. Unfortunately, one of the other casters was lagging out. Feels bad, man. We're back. We're good to go. And again, Rogue, he's all in. Remember, no drones. No drones, no saturation. Purely Ling Hydra. And can he break the expansion? Storm is still on the way. Remember, Storm was delayed because of the early blink, because of +1. Because of the commitment into Mass Stalker. The Storm is almost complete. Hydras are revealed. Lings, oh, they get caught out. And Rogue, can he break down the expansion? He doesn't have enough to break the army. Kites back. Takes care of all the Lings. Sorry, all the Zealots, I should say. Lings are coming from behind. Attempt to surround, but there aren't that many Lings left over. Yeah, not enough. Not enough Zerglings. MaxPax, he's holding, is getting on top of the Hydras. Expensive losses for Rogue. And MaxPax holds. MaxPax, he holds. He can even try to chase. Oh. Catching out a couple Hydras. And the longer this game goes on, the worse it is for Rogue. As Rogue, he has no economy. He has no economy. He has no follow-up. He has no tech. He's down 15 workers. And MaxPax just getting further ahead. Storm is done. And I'll be honest, I don't see this all in working when Storm is ready here for MaxPax. Oh boy. Rogue collapsing in. Storms, they do connect. One more Storm available, connects with the Hydras. No more Ling Bane, does get the expansion. But Rogue, he needs more than that. He's gonna keep going. He's trying. Gets both Archons. Oh, no, quite, never mind. There we go. Does get both Archons. Getting on top of some of the Stalkers. But Rogue just doesn't have enough Zerglings here. Yeah, not enough Zerglings. GG gets called. The all-in fails, and MaxPax will take game number 1. Whew. GG. MaxPax does take a lead in the series. Again, it was a really interesting early game. So Rogue, he was able to defend against the early blink timing from MaxPax because of his counter Ling aggression, and he did well. He defended well, he was able to deal some counter damage, and he chose not to macro from there. If Rogue wanted to, he could have droned, right? He could have droned up, he could have saturated. He chose instead to go for the 3-base all-in. He chose instead to go Mass Ling Hydra. Unfortunately, he did run out of steam. Unfortunately, he let out a lot of Zerglings ahead of time. If you remember, one of the brutal moments was Rogue trying to go for these Ling run-bys at the natural as he was going for the all-in, and he kept leading out more and more Zerglings. He lost a lot of his supply there, and he did not have enough to reinforce his army. In the end, MaxPax holds. GG. GG, well played. With that, MaxPax takes a lead, and MaxPax is one game away from claiming the series. As up next, we're loading into Incorporeal. This is another one of these maps where I do expect an all-in. Like, we expect all-ins here on Incorporeal from the side of Rogue. Again, the one game where Rogue was able to get into the late game against Classic and take him to the late game was on Tokamak, because we expect late game on Tokamak. Here, these maps, they're more open, they're more prone to these more aggressive builds. And let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. Representing Sidestorm Gaming, it is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg player himself from South Korea, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. Kind of silly how much the shield already did. As we mentioned, like, a lot of links were spent at the 3rd base, at the natural base, just trying to get damage done, trying to get some kind of damage, and Rogue, it was just a waste of lava, waste of resources, waste of lings. Did hurt him in the end quite heavily. Did slow him down. As MaxPax does force the unnatural natural. So a nice start for MaxPax. And again, welcome to Incorporeal. This is one of the larger maps in the map pool, but we do expect to see MaxPax turtling up here. It is very common for Protoss players to turtle up and to try to head into the late game on 3 and 4 bases, and eventually encroaching on the map. That is kind of what Protoss are renowned for here on Incorporeal. We'll see if MaxPax does that. We'll see if he does go for a standard build and a standard game. Meanwhile, the reason why it's known for this is because you can be quite assertive on this map compared to on Tokamak. Tokamak is known for, like, you build up, you max out on Skytoss. Here you can be a little bit more assertive and aggressive just because these center bases are much more exposed, right? If you max out, if you have these center bases as a Protoss player with Mass Tempest, you can easily encroach upon these center bases of the Zerg player and punish them and shut them down. It is very difficult for Zerg players to maintain these center bases in the late game, in the mid to late game against Protoss. So we often see all-ins from Zerg instead. We often see all-ins to try to break the Protoss player early on to not really factor these bases in. That's typically how things go in Incorporeal, but we'll see. Go. For now, Stargate open out of MaxPax. We'll keep an eye on his Twilight Council timing. As a reminder, last game he did go for a very early Twilight Council, which led into the early Blink timing, which Rogue did defend against. Now we're droning, we're saturating. From here, MaxPax just poking in, nothing major. Oracle's on the way. From here, MaxPax will expand. Everything so far just looking as it should. Droning, we're saturating. Let Epsu shade away just in time. They pull out. from here, we're waiting for that Twilight Council. Third base being taken. Lings move in. And it does look like we're taking a much more defensive approach here. Yeah, gas is being prioritized. There's that Twilight Council. This Twilight Council was slightly later, slightly more delayed compared to last game. But once again, we're going for gateways. Once again, we're delaying the Forge. It looks like the same build 2 games in a row. For now. You know, a nice scout with the Oracle. Does go in, does get the Revelation, does get eyes on the, I almost said the Forge, on the Evo Chamber for +1. So he's aware that it should be +1 melee and Massling. Oh, hello. That is not Blink. We're going into early charge. Okay. Very interesting. Now, what is scary and what this build does best against here, if Rogue skips his Roach Warren. If Rogue skips his Roach Warren, if he goes pure, I mean, he saw the early Evo Chamber. True. Remember, he saw the Evo Chamber. That screams Mass Ling with +1 melee. It's going to be Ling at Bane as Baneliness gets thrown down. So thankfully there is a Baneliness, but MaxPax is going to be going for an earlier charge timing, and this charge timing can end the game, especially if Rogue has no Banelings ready. This can do critical damage. Oh boy. It's actually very similar to the early Glaive Adept builds, except Glaives are built to get into mineral lines and deal economic damage. Meanwhile, Mass Charge Lot is designed to just run over the Zerg player and just run over their army, their Lings, their Queens. Deal critical damage that way. I don't know if you noticed, but we have seen some frame drops here and there. I do think that one of the other casters is lagging a little bit, as we saw previously. Hopefully it clears up. Here comes the move out. Here come the Zealots. And what do we have to defend? Rogue does scout. Rogue, he's aware. Bam, instantly Banelings. Instantly 6 Banelings are morphing in. It's a little bit of a late reaction, but they're coming. And it looks like they will finish up just in time. So nice last second morph in. Banelings are done, and Rogue holds. Whew. Yeah, Rogue, he holds on. He does get a mass around. Now the Banelings, they do crash in. And the Zealots are cleaned up. And from here, Rogue, he can counterattack. Thankfully, he's droning. He's droning up behind this, double expanding. And again, crucial to the Rogue, he saw the Zealots in the center of the map. It was a late reaction, but also crucial that he had a Baneling Nest. Again, if he had no Baneling Nest, then, I mean, that could have been critical damage. Thankfully, he had the nest. Meanwhile, MaxPax working on that next step and building up Charger Archon into Storm. He's building up that army. Likewise, Rogue, he is still droning, is still saturating. Getting into Ling, Bane, Hydra. Okay, so we have a game. I say that, Rogue, he drones up to 66. I think, there we go. 5 more drones. Getting up to 70. So Rogue, he is actually droning. He's actually building up into a longer game. He's not going for an all-in. And we'll see if Rogue can survive this move out. Because here comes the second wave. Again, MaxPax, he has been very aggressive this game, and he has to get more damage. The early charge timing did fall on its face. Lings, they surround the base, and they will force... Oh, they get a kill! Ah, that should not have happened. That's a kill, not a cancel. Ay, ay, ay. And miscontrol there from MaxPax. Late reaction. With that base going down, Rogue, he can start to tech. He can throw down infestation pits, a lurker den. Now would be the time. War Prism is out, but again, he's not moving out with his main army. MaxPax is just turtling. Yeah. He's made the decision that he can no longer try to end the game. MaxPax is turtling up back at home. Which is why now is the time to tech up. Where's the pit? Where's the hive? Oh, Rogue, he's going for it. So this is a style that, I mean, we spoke about like all-ins, we spoke about aggression on incorporeal, we spoke about the need to avoid the late game on this map. That's what Rogue is doing. Rogue, he does have 87 drones. That is true, but he's quote-unquote all-in. What's happening here, he's choosing not to tech, he's staying on lair tech. So this is going to be a lair tech just build here, or lair tech timing from Rogue. Just pure Ling Bane Hydra. The goal to end the game, just kill. So he's all in the sense that if he doesn't kill, he will fall behind tech-wise, because he has no Hive, he has no Infestation Bit, he has no Lurker, and he has no Spire, he has no Ultra Cavern, he has nothing Hive tech related. Just pure lair tech. And he's going for it. So far the storms are connecting. Couple of High Templar go down. Oh, the High Templar falling. He gets one, he gets two, he gets all the High Templar. Very nice. And we gotta keep going. We gotta keep pushing. Remember, the longer this game goes on, the better it is for MaxPax. Bailey's rolling in, nice connections, takes down the Zealots. Does he have enough? He gets into the mineral line. The probes, yeah, the probes, they go down, no reaction, they don't pull away. He's breaking the base. At the same time, Zelarama does catch reinforcements. Yeah, this will delay Rogue. Rogue is late, but he gets 22 probe kills. That should be enough damage. As MaxPax, she should not be able to keep up anymore. So he's just gearing up for the second wave. Just keep on going, keep on pushing. The goal is to just build up another wave of Ling Bane Hydra to go for the kill. How many High Templar? So far, there's 3. Only 3 High Templar. That's not enough storms. Even working towards Dropper Lords. Let's go. He's rolling in. Forcing out storms. Again, Rogue, he's choosing not to take up. At this point, I think he can. Like, if he wanted to. He could throw down a Lurker Den, but he's choosing to just commit. But there's no wrong answer. Like, Rogue, he's far enough ahead. It's fine. It's perfectly fine here. It takes down a Templar. Speaking of Lings, they don't quite get another. Once again, Rogue, he's distracted. This is getting a little bit concerning here, just because MaxPax, he's actually building up quite an army. He doesn't really have a lot of support. Like, his army is so vulnerable to Zerglings. He has Immortals, High Templar, he has 1 Archon. If Lings can get on top of the army, they can shut this down. Baits out a Stasis Trap. Rogue, he's maxed out. And he will soon pull the trigger. Now, bearing in mind as well that MaxPax's army is split, he has most of his army here at the triangular third. His linear third base is more exposed. But Rogue is going for where the main army is. And it will come down to the storms. There's how many? There's 4 High Templar, Fleet Beacons on the way. Stasis does connect. One connects, so does the other. Nice storms. Yeah, the storms are brutal. They shut down a lot of Ling Bane. Bailey's gonna get into the middle line. The middle line goes down. That's gonna be 15 probe kills at the same time. They'll run back across the map. And now there's no more storms. Yeah, no more storms. They'll say get into the middle line. 8 drones go down. And MaxPax, he's holding. Oh, yeah, he's holding. He defends. He saves all the Immortals. He saves all the Archons. And this is where Rogue is falling behind. We spoke about it earlier. We tried to emphasize it. It sounds weird to say when he had 87 drones, but he went for an 87 drone all-in, a lair tech all-in, and we tried to emphasize it. The longer this game goes on, the worse it is for Rogue, because he has nothing else behind this. No Infestation Bit, no Lurker Den, no nothing. So the strength of the army for Rogue is quite finite. It's quite limited, right? With like 2-2 Ling Bane Hydra. That's the best that he can afford. That's the best he can hope for. So there's a ceiling on the strength of Rogue's army. And MaxPax, his ceiling is infinite. Like, it's he can just keep going. here comes MaxPax. He's pushing in. He's going for the kill. I'll be honest, Rogue, he doesn't have anything here. Like, he has some... The Lings do nothing. The Lings, they do nothing, Pappy. The Hydras, they try to collapse in. GG gets called as Rogue is outscaled, and MaxPax will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, MaxPax, who will claim the series. Again, Rogue, he went for a massive lair tech all-in, and he did do some critical damage, but he was unable to end the game. As we mentioned, he was outscaled. The quality of the army from Rogue was very limited with how much he could grow, and in the end, MaxPax was able to catch up, able to turtle up, and able to take it from there. GG. GG, well played. I did mention that there was no wrong answer for Rogue. He could either just max out and go for a second wave, or he could start to tech. As we saw, though, he did take a little bit too long to actually go for that second attack, to go for that second wave. He waited too long, and MaxPax was able to build up his Archons, his Immortals, and his High Templar. GG. GG, well played. I should also give credit to MaxPax as well, because MaxPax was doing a great job when it comes to buying time. If you remember, MaxPax, he just kept going for Zealot run-bys. We saw a lot of Zealot run-bys, a lot of Zealot counterattacks, and he was able to get across the map and able to distract Rogue to buy that time to be able to build up his army. Didn't max out. I think he capped at like 160, 165. But the quality of the army was what matters. The quality